Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. TRIFLIX buys a van, Fergie visits an In-N-Out, and David tries on a wig. Don't miss this.
Cole throws up in VR.
Woohoo! Okay.
I love it.
And I hate reading.
I get it. Welcome to TRIFLIX Cast. We're all professional videographers. We're all professional videographers, photographers,
Unique
talking about the latest
New York.
techniques, practices, and tech with a bit of fun. Welcome. It's episode 3.
New York.
My name is Cole, and
Stop
it. My name is Cole, and I'm the producer here at TRIFLIX. And this to my right is
Big Bog, the director.
your name.
Tristan.
Thank you.
Whatever.
And to my left,
I'm David Baker. I do things like manage efficiency around here sometimes.
We're
and
so efficient.
Not buy creamer.
every time.
I did do the shopping last time. I would have noticed.
Finally. But the three of us crazy people somehow somewhat successfully run a business called TRIFLIX, a digital media company based out of Columbus, Indiana. That's where we're sitting right now, in Columbus. It's right in the middle.
Our address is online. You can come join us if you want.
You can come check us
The door
out.
is locked during podcasts.
That's true. Yes.
So knock real loud.
It's only a wooden door. You can knock it down.
Knock real loud on the door that's locked that says, recording in progress, please be quiet.
Yeah.
It's a secret code. Only the cool people know that means knock louder.
It actually means it's unlocked. You should just try really hard to open the doorknob.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a test. It's a litmus test to see if you really watch the show.
Yeah.
So if you ever come by and you think the door's locked, just keep trying.
It's like one of those ARGs. Have you heard of those?
An ARG? Yeah, ARG.
ARG. It's like alternate reality game where it's like it's basically just a scavenger hunt. They just think it's cool to call it an ARG.
Yarg. Everything
Yeah.
has to have an acronym now.
Yeah,
It sounds cooler that way.
it is cool.
Pen 15, and all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of listening, I'm going to do it one more time and remind everyone that might be new that we start off every episode with a news story, and I've got one today. Fergie, she visited an In-N-Out burger in Vegas.
Furby.
There's more to this story here, but I want to see if you guys can. Again, you got to give me a little. See if you can guess kind of what this is about. I know it seems self-explanatory, but I'm telling you, there's more to it.
Googling who Fergie is.
Furby, he said. Furby.
No, I didn't.
Fergie.
I said what he just said.
Furby.
Fergie.
Their Instagram is Fergie. Their name is Fergie, and their description says Fergie. That's all I know.
That's it?
About this person.
You know,
I've heard about them before.
Yeah.
but
who is it then?
I don't know.
Black
Fergie?
Eyed Peas
Yeah.
lady.
Thank you. She beat herself
they
on
sing?
stage.
Was she performing
Didn't
at
know
an
that.
In-N-Out burger?
I don't know,
Is that the story?
but it's not who you think it is.
It's not a
Nope.
Fergie that we should know.
It's not the
You're
In-N-Out
also
you know.
you're also assuming that it's a person.
Fergie. Oh,
Yeah.
is it a dog?
I'm still sticking with Furby.
Okay. No, Fergie is a camel.
Camel.
Yeah, so there's a video online. Go check it out. Fergie the camel was brought to an In-N-Out burger through the drive-thru
Okay.
to then purchase food. Fergie is a 14-year-old camel.
How old do camels get?
I have no idea, but I was like 14.
Sounds old.
That's almost a dead dog.
I gotta take my 14-year-old dog through drive-through next.
Yeah. Fergie likes French
75
fries.
years. Camels.
Nuh-uh.
75 years.
Wow.
No way.
Them's reliable.
that was Camilla, the queen consort of the United Kingdom. Typo. She was 75.
Dude, yes. we need a Google in here. Hold on. Let's see if Siri will answer us. Hold on.
How old Camilla?
How old do camels live to be?
17 years.
Here's an answer from Wikipedia. The average life expectancy of a camel is 40 to 50 years.
Mine says
Dude,
17.
That's impressive. 40 to 50 years.
Who's your Siri voice?
I don't know. The regular
Siri
one?
number 4.
I don't know.
I think I set mine to be the Australian one.
Yeah, mine doesn't have an accent. It's just the most basic, not like the basic, but
It
like
is
it's probably
technically
like
an accent.
it's like voice number 2.
Okay.
American.
Yeah.
Dude.
I was looking for Midwest, but that wasn't in there. So
Have you ever seen a Bactrian camel? These things are fuzzy. It's like a big walking blanket.
yep.
Those are cool.
I'm pretty sure that's the same animal that Luke cuts into and sleeps in. Looks like it.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's Tauntaun camels.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, Camels and In-N-Outs. So they like French fries. Now you know. And they live to 40 to 50 years. So
Wow, that was quite the BuzzFeed of a story.
I thought so. I mean, we all learned something.
Camels
and,
could be somewhere between
is quick and to the point.
17 and 75. We're kind of uncertain.
Hey, the news portion of this show didn't last 25 minutes talking about cheating in chess
so why
and
was that
fish.
news? Maybe because it's named Fergie?
Do you know the sites that I'm using for these news stories?
No.
They
Well,
are.
I'm not trying to find them before you two.
I'm saying, like,
do.
I literally type in like funny or odd news,
Okay.
and there's like 5 sites that pop up on the first page of Google.
Do you remember like when you'd go to like the grocery store and they'd have like little magazines and there was like the fake tabloid ones that were specifically like Bigfoot?
It's like
random-
Angelina Jolie just had her 45th plastic surgery, and it shows a picture of a puffer fish.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
on a mannequin.
Secretly the love child between Brad Pitt and Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah, dude, I miss those. I used to like actually like my mom would be walking around the store and that's what I would pick up and just follow her around.
I wasn't allowed. My parents would be like, "Oh, don't read that. That's fake stuff. Don't touch it." And I'd be like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then my mom would pick up a People magazine and take it home.
Yeah, the authentic news source.
the actual version.
Yeah. I get my news from Channel 5 with Andrew Callaghan.
What was that?
Callaghan.
Yeah, Galaga.
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Andrew Gallagher.
Captain Gallagher.
He's great.
We're going to switch things up today just a touch, and we're going to go ahead and throw ourselves into a sponsor segment.
Oh my
I
gosh.
sure hope there gets to be music.
Yeah,
listed.
it could be going like doop 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 bop boop dee bop boop bop 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 dee bop boo.
Bo.
So, if you haven't seen or haven't noticed, we're drinking
Oh my gosh,
coffee
we love
today.
coffee.
I love coffee.
We have fancy cups. We're going to talk about this a little bit later on, and we've talked about these cups, but we're going to talk about our involvement with these cups. These are Husky cups, and they are made from sustainable materials like coffee husks. Very cool. There's a whole program and everything, but we're going to talk about what that is later on. I have one of Coffee House's mugs. You can go and purchase this at either one of their locations in Greenwood or Franklin. They're nice. They sit out there. They've got a couple other options too that look really nice as well. There's one that looks like a to-go coffee cup, but it's a clear glass cup with their logo on it.
It's glass?
and it's shaped just like a to-go cup.
Oh, I might buy that.
It's very cool.
That sounds really cool. I like glass stuff. Where I have a glass, not Coffee House 5, but mug at home, and I just think it's really cool. So I'm going to buy that.
You like them so much, you
I
wear
do
them on
as
your
well.
face.
Oh, glasses.
I'm having a kid.
You're ready for kids.
Okay. David, why don't you go ahead and hit us off with this first paragraph here.
Coffee House 5, with locations in Franklin and Greenwood and soon a third in Bargersville. Coffee House 5 is Johnson County's premier independent coffee shop to relax, study, or meet friends around great coffee and great food Monday through Saturday.
Whether it's a handcrafted espresso or a single origin pour over, you'll enjoy the freshest, smoothest coffee possible roasted in-house at their Franklin location using a unique air bed roasting process. I was going to try to do it without looking.
And don't forget to pair your coffee with a ham and cheddar scone, biscuits and gravy made with their award-winning Parmesan chive biscuit, or any of their pastries and sandwich prepared in their Franklin kitchen using family recipes in a style they call Midwest comfort food.
That it is, David. As if that's not enough to get your attention, Coffee House 5 is a for-benefit coffee house. All profits are invested in building a strong community through their support of local mental health services, which you can read more about on their website, coffeehouse5.com. So the next time you're in Franklin or Greenwood, and soon Bargersville, stop by Coffee House 5. Thank you, Coffee House, for sponsoring us.
Yeah, we had to move that up. They got really mad at us. We waited halfway through last time.
They were like, what? No, they're super cool.
They threaten to take all of our delicious coffee.
No! Okay, so you guys have seen the outline. There were some things that I carried over from last time because we got way into the weeds, which is fine. But I was going to let you guys decide if you wanted what you wanted to talk about next. Although you keep that segment towards the end, we're gonna surprise them with something new.
Okay, well,
that way they stick around. Please stick around. Don't forget about us. Or if you guys just have something you want to throw in there, I'm good with whatever. But
I like hearing about stuff that we actually do.
Yeah, right.
And you guys want to talk
something? You want to talk about Colorado wedding?
Oh yes,
that's got a lot of fun stories.
I love wet wedding.
Yes, it was wet wedding.
For reasons you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, well, you'll understand, but you wouldn't guess.
When you're older.
When you're older, yes.
I want to hear about how hopelessly ill-prepared you were for the concept of going to Colorado.
That's an easy one. Well, first, let's provide some context here. So, Ron... I was going to say his last name. Is fine. Ron, a good friend of mine from college, he decided that he was going to use this to shoot his wedding in Colorado because that's where he lives now. I've never been to Colorado, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to go see a friend, go to Colorado for the first time, and shoot a wedding. So, trip was taken care of in that way, monetarily. We went and shot this wedding, and there were some hijinks, some things that happened along the way that was really funny. This was probably like our first major trip kind of outside the state where we were shooting a larger project.
Yeah.
We had to take a plane and then a car and then a car, then a plane.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? Then another car.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot the car that got us to the plane. Thank you, wife. She drove us to the airport.
And automobiles, but no train.
So
actually, there was a tram.
There was a tram.
You hit them all.
You were correct. We hit all the things.
Let's go.
And we screwed up. But that's the last. So we go to this wedding. We're expecting. Well, actually, I wasn't expecting because my wife was like, "Yo, I looked at the weather. It's going to be rainy and cold." I was like, no, I want to see Colorado. So I figured it'd clear up on the day, right? We show up, it's raining, it's misting, whatever you want to call it.
It looked rather pretty, though, from the shots I saw, even though it looked kind of miserable to be.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all in the art. It's all in the photographer.
Misty mountains old.
Which is funny because when I took those shots while we were at the venue, you couldn't see as much in the final shot because once you take in and pull out some highlights and remove some shadows and do a couple things and dehaze a little bit, it pulled a lot of detail out that I could not see with the naked eye.
It's really cool.
I thought that was super cool. I showed that picture to my wife. There's one picture of the mountains with like a house in front of it at this property where we were shooting at, and it looks fake. Like it looks like I photoshopped it into like a misty evening in the mountains. Awesome. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. I dig that. But Tristan's looking at me like I don't know where you're going with this.
Tristan? What's going on?
I know he looks so lost. You're tired, aren't you?
Yeah,
I can tell you're tired.
Yeah, tired.
So Tristan here, I think he was forewarned as well about the weather.
But
didn't your wife say something as well? I thought she said like, hey, you might want to pack a jacket or something.
Maybe.
I thought maybe you mentioned it and you were like,
Yeah,
clearly forgot.
I'm going to lean into it. I totally did that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So he shows up to my house. We're getting ready to go to the airport. And my wife's like, it's going to be cold. And he's like, I didn't pack anything other than t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I told him this. We had an event to go to the night before the wedding to go see the wedding party at like a little hotel venue beforehand.
Bodega.
It was not a bodega.
Very, very nice. High class.
It was so awesome because I brought like a black t-shirt with some nice jeans and some nice shoes just in case. And Tristan's like, oh, I brought what I brought. Showed up to this thing with like khaki shorts and a black t-shirt.
I hadn't got to laundry this week.
You've been preparing for months.
I
hadn't done laundry that month. I'll get to it.
That year.
My sweet wife, she goes, you're going to be cold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Cole, bring an extra sweatshirt. This came in handy because he wore that sweatshirt like the whole day.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I did. I definitely wore it the whole day.
No, you did,
I
for sure.
Didn't
You
even
were
take it
never
off
in a
to
short.
poop.
No, not even to poop. Nope.
No, I
Nope.
needed it. Thermals.
And I took it and wore it the next day. No wash. I figured it was safe.
Yeah.
Safe and sound.
It made a good pillow when we were sitting around.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So expand upon the way you were feeling. So this would be Saturday. So we got there on Friday, went to the little soiree, went to bed, woke up the next day. Still raining, still misting, still cold. And we're getting ready to go into the mountains.
Yeah.
We were at 7,500 feet above sea level elevation.
Yeah, no, I
was awesome.
Absolutely love all of God's creation.
Dude.
Specifically the parts that aren't outside. That's my favorite part about God's creation is the inside parts. And that's why I really liked Colorado, because it really pushed me outside of my element to get out in the beautiful state of Colorado where you're literally inside of a cloud, which means
We were living in a cloud.
you're
Yes.
swimming through the air because it's mist. It's all mist.
Yes.
So you get to experience such a unique experience in life that probably not many get to go through, because you
Especially
have to
not on their
be
wedding day.
you have to be like a mile up to have that happen, where the air's really thin, and you get to practice breathing exercises and taking breaks and rest. I got to practice a lot of rest. It was really cool because you don't want to overwork yourself. So
And
I
he's
feel like
got-
we work really hard around here.
He's got his easy rig on with the Ronin
Yeah.
attached to it. So
Yeah, so
it's-
I got some strength endurance training for over the course of this, what turned to be like a 10 or 11 hour day.
it's a long day.
Yeah. So there was just so many great things about being in Colorado that I can't put into words.
But your favorite part was the wetness.
Yes, there's something really cool about condensation and how it sticks to everything, especially like the grass where you walk, especially like like how cool is Colorado, because it's like just vast amounts of land that people don't mow. So when you walk through it, it has even more of that moisture stored in it, which transfers to your legs and your non-waterproof shoes. And it just soaks in. So it's like I got to experience all of the elements, the wind, the water. I think I got really close to some fire at one point, and earth. Honestly, I mean, we were just surrounded by it. Colorado's the best.
It's just all earth.
A lot
Yeah.
of earth.
I've been to Colorado before, and
tall
I'll be
earth.
honest, this experience was about on par with the last time I went.
So you've been to this place and you've
Yes.
experienced this all
I haven't
before.
been to the Mile High City, but I've been to Colorado.
We've been to
Okay.
CO.
Yeah. I think we landed in Boulder or something. I don't know. Maybe we landed in Denver, but we just immediately drove out. We didn't stay in Denver
Yeah.
Okay.
the first time.
So yeah, so this guy is out there in all this moisture with his little Nike tennis shoes.
Yeah.
Little Nike tennis shoes that are just sucking all that moisture
two
up.
raindrops on a nice day will saturate them.
But your boy here wore his vesties and his jeans and a
Bleep
and
that.
a,
We're not sponsored.
and a North Face.
So you're all decked out for the weather. You had waterproof shoes. You were cozy.
Kept my
You're
feet
feeling
warm all
great.
day.
Yeah.
All day. In like 48, 46 degree weather with no sun.
Yeah.
We had one break, and that's where we did our aerials. We did our drone shots.
They turned out great.
As soon
Yeah.
as I brought it back down, the rest of the day was shot for that. I was only able to go till about 250 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you were gone. You were in the cloud. You're done. She gone.
Cole quite prepared. He's kind of like a Boy Scout. And then you got Tristan over here, the city slicker,
Yeah.
not knowing anything outside the life of a city, how it works.
Yeah.
But here's my thing, though, with all of that is like, I heard about it all day.
Yeah.
Oh, my feet are so cold and wet. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
the
so
environment.
Cold. No.
Yeah.
It's like, stop it.
I don't know what
It was the.
I was admiring.
Oh, yeah.
I was
yeah, yeah.
admiring our surroundings, and I wanted you to know.
spin that, post reflection that you have.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanted
you should have
to,
heard what he actually said.
I wanted you to know how great the experience was, and I was like, "Wow, my feet are so wet! Like I'm so one with nature right
So
now.
happy right now.
There's nothing that could make me feel more in the moment than like constantly every step you get a squish sound, which is like a lot of times I'm in my own head." But every
Yeah.
thought I have is interrupted by this squish of earth, and like it's like, wow, I'm in this moment right now. I can't escape
I'm
it.
connected
It's
with nature.
hilarious to me. That seems like a inconvenience for you.
I know, right?
An inconvenience, hardly.
Yeah.
I did make one mistake.
Oh.
I did. I made kind of a newbie mistake, and we rented a brand new BMW 3 Series. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's like a subcompact 4-door sedan. Not a lot of clearance.
How could you guys not be familiar with that? Shouldn't.
What do you mean? No. You see what I drive every day to Brown County. I was like, oh, we'll be fine.
A rundown Toyota Corolla from like 1994.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Bad. It's we've fallen on tough times here.
Yeah.
But
He bought a refurbished iPad.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
We really need support, guys. We're buying refurbs.
I'm gonna touch this thing and be like, oh, somebody else touched it. I
I can feel the.
I won't
I
have
wonder what they used it for before I got it.
right. Just crapper solitaire.
It makes me think of that VR setup that was a computer without a graphics card on Linus Tech Tips.
What?
You're the one that even told me about it. Anyway, never mind.
Love it.
I love how I make a reference exactly to something that you
I
tell me
just
about and you
genuinely
forget.
couldn't hear you.
Yeah, it's cool if I like.
But tell us about your mild inconvenient car.
Oh yeah. So the issue with this is that we drove up into the mountain, which was fun because it's a nice little car. You know, drive it up.
It's even more
sport mode.
more fun going up and down that mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
this is a great car.
Oh yeah. So we get to
yes.
the venue, and the venue it's a ranch, Stove Prairie Ranch to be exact.
Dirt
Great
roads.
venue, but yes, it's all dirt roads.
Yeah.
And it's misty and it's rainy and it's nasty out. And you're like, ah. So
Yeah.
we then have to drive from the main barn, the main like reception area to the ceremony space. And it is up this single lane dirt road that it's just two muddy paths that for your tires to get to the venue.
In this BMW, what is it again?
3 Series.
3. So you're driving this really nice car
Well,
in this environment.
It is.
yeah. It's
Dirty,
pretty good.
musty. Did it struggle at all? Was it making it through?
Oh, I mean, it did great. It was all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
But
everything but the floorboards.
Well, it was very dirty when we took it back, but they didn't charge us anything for it. So
Yeah.
I checked multiple times.
When you're in Colorado.
It was very dirty because we got in and out all day because that's how you had to use the car to get to each section of the venue throughout the day.
Yeah, I was thinking like Little House on the Prairie type of stuff. That was basically where we were.
And so in comparison, what was everybody else driving?
Everybody had an SUV.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that we were the only ones with a car there. At least driving back and forth between the ceremony space.
Right.
So it did a great job, but my biggest concern is always ground clearance. And you've got ruts and rocks and stuff sticking out. And one wrong move, you drive over and you end up hitting like your oil pan or the bottom of the car with a rock. And
We are miles away from Flex Seal.
miles.
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah. So that was my only, that'll be my only thing is like next time. And I even considered just for like a hot minute, like maybe we should get an SUV. But I'm like, why would I want to drive a Dodge Durango in comparison? You know, drive
Gas
the Beamer,
mileage. Ugh. Think of the environment.
which we did get good gas
He's
mileage.
an ecologist now, he said.
I am an ecologist.
Yeah. He's looking at his bank account. I was like, oh man, I should become an ecologist.
Yeah,
I care about the environment.
I do. Mostly. But anyways, so that was my only thing. I think next time, more clearance, ground clearance. It's not going to be a Jeep or anything like that.
Why not get that cherry red Rubicon?
Yeah, man. Take the roof off. I'd get a
No doors.
I'd get a Bronco. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. Those actually look pretty awesome.
I think they're
We need a TRIFLIX off-road vehicle
We've-
where we can mount the camera on like on any side we want, do some
yeah.
crazy shots. That'd
We've
be funny.
talked about it someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
It's
do
gonna
want
be,
like
What
Yeah.
would be your dream TRIFLIX vehicle?
Probably going to be the Ford little van. I think that's what we need.
See, I
The
think
Ford
we should,
Transit?
I think we should
Ford
get a,
Transit.
I think we should get a Ford Raptor.
Transit Raptor.
That would be so awesome. We can make our own
Dude,
version.
Lift it.
Yeah,
Throw-
put some Fox shocks on there and
That'd be
jump
sweet.
it. Be
So-
the only ones that have jumped a video van.
So the Transit, is a much more practical choice, right? Because
Yeah.
it looks kind of like one of those Amazon Prime
It's
delivery
a Ford
vehicles.
Fiesta with a full hatch.
Yeah.
Well, all right, if we saying all these car names and people might not understand.
Everyone knows
Look
Ford
'em up.
Fiesta.
Look them up.
It's the party car.
The Fiesta is this one of the smallest cars that Ford makes. Do they make them?
No, they
I
don't
don't
make
think
any
so.
sedans anymore. There's no more cars that are like short cars. Like everything's lifted now.
Everybody wants big cars.
All their SUVs are just lifted cars. That's all they are.
It's true. I think
Yeah.
the Escape is on the Focus platform.
Yeah. And then there's like the Trax or whatever and some others. Like Chevy does it, Ford does it. Everybody has like these tiny little cars that are
I
lifted.
don't really consider Chevy for anything. So,
And they just catch on fire.
yeah. But so Ford Transit, we want that because
I think we need to have a mobile office. That's what like we've talked about it. Like it would be nice to be able to go to a shoot and have something that has power. So you can charge batteries, inside the van. You could offload footage. Like there could
Yeah.
be kind of like a small server in there and you could offload things
that'd
while
be
you're at the
cool.
shoot.
Yeah.
I just think having kind of like a mobile command center, maybe throw a little like 5G modem in
Yeah,
there.
you have like some monitors in there, maybe one that's studio grade, so you can actually check out the footage in a
yeah.
concealed
from the van.
environment. Yeah, and
Someone
we sit in the
shoots
van.
and you sit in the van, you like pull focus.
Yeah,
If that's, you know what
Well,
I mean?
hey.
Like, could you imagine being at the wedding and you swap, because we have 2 cards, so you swap into the second card. Somebody could already be in the van pulling the footage and throwing it on a timeline,
yeah,
pre being done with the the service.
yeah. So Tristan recently bought a house, and since we're all best friends, we were there for the inspection.
Yes.
And the guy went around, was taking pictures for the inspection. Then when he was done, he took us all back to his basically Ford Transit. I don't think it was a Transit.
Basically
It's
a
a
Ford
Merce-
Transit.
It's a
basically-
Mercedes Sprinter.
It was a very fancy
Ford
different
Transit.
and you go in there and there's like mounted like leather seats or something, and like there's a nice TV up on the wall, and there's a little desk for him to sit, and he could walk you through the entire inspection, and it was like a fun little experience.
I thought that was cool.
Air
Yeah.
conditioning.
I'm gonna
And so you can really do a lot of stuff in these Ford Transit style vehicles.
we'll give him a plug. It's a Blake Span 2 ends with
Ooh.
Inspect.
Wow.
He's your dude. I see him all the time here in Columbus. I pass him all the time
Yeah,
coming in and out of town.
I've seen it around too. I thought it was I was like, wow, that's a cool vehicle, and then finally got to be in it.
Yeah. So that's a Mercedes Sprinter. That's like end goal right there.
Yeah,
Like,
like
Make
money
it-
wasn't an option.
yeah,
We
we're
just
gonna have a
go for
whole
it.
fleet. They all when you
Yeah.
pull in, they all link together and make one giant.
We
Yeah, so you have a
we
secretary
circle
be
the
like,
wagons.
hey, bring the car around, and whoop, they just take the.
Yeah, we circle the wagons. We get a little. We like
Yeah.
put a little a circus tent canopy, and they all like pop up from there.
See, and I seriously think, money permitting, all of those things. I think that's like next level to be like put LEDs on the outside so you can light up the space around you. Like when you get done and it's dark, so you can you can put your equipment up.
Yeah.
I think making it as utilitarian as possible to help us function at a shoot, especially
Put
an all day
rails on the
shoot.
outside of it, on the sides of the vehicle, so then you can like just clip lighting on, and you can actually like, all right, we're going outside. It's gonna be a party time. We're already outside. Let's just clip the lights on ours, and then we don't have to like get out stands and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Or like even like have mounts or like a boom mic. So if you need like a mount for an interview, just have it right outside the van.
They'd be
Have-
tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
That'd
like
be
a
kinda cool.
fridge
Have
for
a
like
fridge.
water and stuff, because we always go to a shoot and forget to throw waters or snacks for an all day shoot.
Yeah, then we would have to have a van supply board. Had somebody to keep track of the van.
We
It's
would.
fully stocked with
We
creamer.
would.
Creamer, maybe a little coffee machine in there too.
That would be so cool.
It has to be a completely second van. One's just like the gear van, and then there's another one that just has
Chill
like
van.
food.
Has a big couch and a TV and an
it's
Xbox.
like a trailer. There we go. It's a trailer. Yeah.
Oh, that would be even better.
Yeah.
You don't even need a second van. You just have a trailer that like connects. And so when you connect it all, the power runs to the trailer. And then you have like a windows and stuff in there too. That would be so cool.
We just put a generator in the trailer at that point.
So it runs independently.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it could run everything in the bus and back.
Solar panels too.
That'd be a separate trailer. there would be a whole trailer generator, and attached to that is
We
the
have
real
a train.
trailer.
Forget it. No more
Train.
sprinter.
It's a
We're getting a
convoy.
train.
Yeah.
We only shoot things within 3 miles of the train station.
Yeah.
Dude, it has like a ladder on the back, and you on the top of it has a drone takeoff spot.
ATVs on one of the carts, like just like 3 ATVs that we just wheel off.
That'd be kind of funny. Like if we had like enough money to be like we could do whatever we want, we just buy up like a whole train company. Like, all right, this is our circuit of where we can do service
That's
across
it.
the entire country.
Has to be close to a railroad track. It's the only way. It's
be
gonna have a
hilarious.
rack on the back for like electric scooters, so we're always like
Yeah.
buzzing around sets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we always have to look up shoots, whether or not it's a no-fly zone if we take up the drone, but now we're just like, how close are you to a train track? That's it.
Right.
That's the only prereq.
That's awesome.
We don't need the drone
I dig
anymore. We'll
this.
just have a little tower on one of the carts of the train, and we'll just sit up there like a little like the crow's nest on a pirate ship or whatever.
Yeah.
And just have like a really high
Yes.
tower vantage point.
They need to have
Yeah.
the most obnoxious like wrap. Like it's got to be all the TRIFLIX colors, and like it's cool, but it's like loud color wise,
Yeah.
like oranges and
Like
blues and everything.
our colors just neon colored versions.
yes. Well,
Oh.
our faces have to go somewhere.
It'd be so fun to get
Yeah.
Nick Abstract to design a wrap for a car.
You know he would.
I know. And
That would be
it'll
awesome.
look so awesome.
He's designing my nursery wall.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
He
you
off-
going to do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's I'm trying to talk him into well, I think either he already had the idea or I already talked him into it, but kind of selling templates of his art so that people that want to do DIY that say
Yeah.
this artist is too expensive. This is something we've talked about before, is like, how do you make, as an artist or a service provider, how do you make it more like accessible to people that are frugal or
Yeah.
just, maybe they don't have the funds to drop on a professional service. And it's like, we can get you 60 to 80% of the quality that you can do yourself, but it's simple. Like
Right.
it doesn't have to be advanced. So we talked about the idea at his most recent art exhibit in Columbus at the workshop about maybe helping out with our nursery wall. Cause I was like, my wife really wants a really cool, like a splash of color on the wall, something that stands out, because everybody always has an accent
You
wall.
don't like
That's
your
the
live,
trend.
laugh, love?
No.
We should-
Why not?
I mean, I love living, laughing, loving, freezing.
It's all
and
great stuff.
Yeah.
Being wet, but I think I like Nick's art a little better. So he threw out the idea,
Yeah.
and I'm really jazzed because I think that's something unique, and I want to support local artists, and
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool way to do it, because he knows right now, unless we traded services, I don't know if we could afford necessarily the full package.
Correct.
Sure.
No, we cannot.
But that's all right, because I think he's worth the money, and I'd hate to short him anything
Yeah.
less than what he's worth.
Agreed.
I love supporting artists by commissioning them to do things, but like they are worth
Just
that-
chores,
that
just
time.
commissioning things. You're
Yeah.
like, hey, I need laundry done. I'd like
Hey,
to
yeah.
commission you.
Can you
It's
fix my
not
plumbing?
everybody can be like, hey, like I just feel like commissioning an artist. Like
Yeah.
it's a budget that not everybody has, and like we get it. But
People commission us all the time
yeah,
for art.
art.
That's what
Speaking of being commissioned for art, we'll circle this thing back around.
Yeah, there we go.
So
we're circling to.
we were able to navigate all of the things that happened on Saturday between the car and Tristan's wet feet.
Mm-hmm.
We finished up, did what we had to do. They wanted us to stay and dance. We were exhausted. And of course, time difference and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Went for Colorado walk and all that.
Yes. So we got done with the shoot, drove down and the mist and the fog was even worse when we left.
Yeah.
You could barely see.
Yeah. My ears were shrinking. It was so weird.
Yes, his ears were shrinking.
You're like popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Shrinking.
Shrinking.
I don't know what shrinking.
As we were going
what?
down the mountain, his ears were shrinking.
Okay, yeah. So like you're feeling the pressure difference.
Yeah, they were shrinking.
Yeah. they were
I've never
shrinking.
heard it called shrinking.
I didn't know they could do it either.
Well, I mean, I've experienced it many times. I've just never heard it called shrinking. It's like they just physically go like,
That's a Tristanism, okay?
Yeah. No, my ears were
He
definitely
made it out.
shrinking.
yeah.
I could tell.
Okay.
I saw it. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
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 His head was getting physically bigger.
Yes.
And funnier by the second.
Yes.
Getting delusional.
So we make it back to the hotel. It's like, what, 10:30, 11 o'clock? Colorado time? Something like that.
Colorado.
Get back,
Colorado.
go to bed. Now we have to. This is where it gets spicy. So we wake up at like 2. I think 2 a.m. was when I woke up. So our flight left at 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah. And we were like an hour and a half away because we had to pick up somebody that also had to go to the airport.
Yeah. So we had to take like a 15-minute. There was one of the bridesmaids. She was like, "I'm going to spend $150 on an Uber." I was like, "Where are you leaving from?" And she told us the hotel, and it was 15 minutes from us. And I was like, "We'll pick you up, take you to the airport."
Took the Uber.
Well, I'm pretty sure she made it home, so she had an extra 30 minutes on us, which would have helped. But yeah, you could tell where this is going. We picked her up, took her to the airport. It was about an hour drive. Once we picked her up, got to the airport, missed the first shuttle from the rental car place because it was too full. It wouldn't let us stand up.
Well, we actually missed the first one by probably 2 minutes. And then we waited the full 20. And the second one came back. We were there earlier, but people are cutting because everybody's in a big hurry at 5:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
So some people just jumped ahead. And then, like you said, we missed that shuttle. So waited another 20 minutes. So a good 40 minutes were just sitting.
Shuttling.
And shuttle's the only way to get there?
That was it.
Unless you want to Uber.
Everything is spaced apart. Like it's very vast, the Denver airport. So keep that in mind. And we thought we had a red-eye flight. We thought we were good. I mean, we tried to schedule early, and so we get to the airport, go in. She takes off, does her thing. We have to check bags because we have a lot of equipment with us.
Yeah.
And that's when chaos ensued.
We got on our flight and went home immediately.
Oh man,
Chaos.
that sounds so great.
I wish. We finally find a terminal to check the bags, and then somebody in front of us, once we have our tag, somebody in front of us, their bag was 8 pounds too heavy, and they took out weight, and then it was underweight, and so he's like, you could put stuff back in. So they were back and forth on their weight. Every other line was packed. Wow. Then we walked to the TSA. We walked to the front of the line. Little did we know, all the way back, kind of where we were before, is the end of the line. So we do a whole UE to get to the end of the TSA line, and this is the longest line I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, like bigger than Disney combined.
Seriously, it was so. We were like,
we're done. It was at least 2,000+ people. At least.
What?
It's the most. Seriously, it was.
I'm not exaggerating.
What day?
I'm being very conservative when I say 2,000.
What day?
This was a Sunday morning.
Oh man.
Sunday morning. Okay, and just for comparison's sake, coming in and out of Indy was a breeze.
Yeah, there was like 3 people ahead of us.
Super easy.
Which is
Super
not an
easy.
international I mean, it's kind of international, but it's not a hub.
Yeah.
So like there's
Yeah.
that. I understand Indy's like an 800,000 people town, and Denver's probably several million, I would only assume.
Yeah, but I was trying to just
But
for
like in
context
comparison,
reasons, yeah.
it's insane. It's just absolutely poorly designed, poorly optimized, insane.
So the TSA line, we get to the end of it, and it's just continually growing and wrapping its way multiple times around this airport. And this airport is huge.
It's amazing. The line is so long that you can see all 9 stages of grief as you progress through the line.
You can.
You can see the person that's like in denial. You can see the person that's like bartering,
super funny.
bartering, like they're on their phone. Like, I'm going to try to like see if I can talk to somebody and maybe they'll hold my flight. And then you have the person that's accepted it. Yeah. And then you've had the person that's already moved through it, and that's the guy laying on the floor taking a nap because he already missed his flight.
Yeah, he done. He's like, whatever.
Yeah, so you see all the stages. That's how long this line is. You have time to process all your emotions.
And you guys went through this too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
So we're in line, and we have not reached the time at which our flight was supposed to leave.
Yeah.
So we're in line, and we're going, yeah, we're done. There's no way we make this. There's no way.
Yeah.
The line moves much quicker than we expected it to, but it was still, it was a long time. So we go through the line, we get through TSA, which they were filing people through as fast as they could.
Leave your shoes on, leave your backpack on, leave your bombs in your backpack. It's cool.
Just shove it on through.
How big is the bomb? Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
We don't care. Go.
Yeah.
So we get through all of that. And now the other awesome part about Denver Airport is that we're in Terminal C, There's a tram.
Well, we're at terminal, right? But I don't even think we were at C. We had to get on a train to go to C.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like ours was C, which is the furthest away.
Yeah.
So you have your the main TSA, the main terminal part, and then you get on the tram and it goes from there to A, stops. A to B, stops. B to C, stops.
Oh, man.
So we're at the very end of this.
Yeah. It's like rolling dice, and you roll the worst possible dice every single time for the next 6 rolls. It's like, all right, you missed 1, you missed 2,
Yeah, it
you
keeps
missed
coming
3.
up snake eyes.
Yeah.
And so we're just like riding on this thing, just praying, hoping the plane is still there. We get to see, and we're also at the furthest terminal all the way down, like Seagate or whatever. Like we were at the very end. So we start running.
Which, for context, was at least 1 mile minimum.
It
there
had
was
to-
no way it was less than 1 mile.
Oh, well, it's like, I mean, they're numbered,
Wow.
right? This was like a 20 through 60 or 30 through 60.
I ran a good 7-minute mile with all my luggage. But now, given I had the little expressways, so you could travel a little faster every.
Oh, yeah, the little
little
scooter
moving
thing.
S-
Two or
scooters.
3 were broken.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
Dare they?
Yep.
So we're running. We're those people. We've already been those people multiple times, and we're running.
We haven't hit the acceptance phase yet.
No. We were still in the maybe.
We're bartering.
We're like probably not, but maybe. So we're running. I am in considerably different shape than my co-worker Tristan. We just have different body shapes. Let's go with that.
Yeah, okay.
So I've been a dad for
Yeah.
almost 9 years, and he's just getting ready to have a kid. So like putting that in perspective.
Yeah.
So we're running, and at one point it's like the movie, right? I'm like, you go and hold it. I'll be there. And I had to stop running for a little while and catch my breath, and was just like walking vigorously.
Yeah, it's like Jack if he just got tired of swimming and he's just like, yeah, you go on. I'm just gonna go die over
Right.
here.
No, not working on cardio for like 3 years, or actually 5 years. That's me because of COVID.
Yeah.
You can feel it big
It's no
time.
joke.
If like you just try to jump back into it again, it is rough.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're going to die.
I thought I was.
Yeah.
But I knew we had it right. I mean, it's like the adrenaline was pumping though, because I like knew we had like this was make it or break it. You know,
Yeah.
we don't know when another flight could be, or there's so many variables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get to the gate. There's no plane. There's no people. It's just dark.
I don't even know if the plane ever left.
There was no plane.
There was never a plane.
There was
not
just
a
never a
plane.
plane there. So we admit defeat at the gate.
Yep.
Yeah.
We talked to the lady. Next flight.
No. It wasn't we met the lady. You're skipping the 1+ mile walk back to get to the other side.
Well, we talked to the lady that was at that terminal
Yeah.
at that gate,
Yeah.
and she told us what would happen or what flights were next. We found out that the next flight wasn't until like 1 or 1:30.
Yeah.
And it's 6 a.m. Just a heads up. 6 a.m. So yes, we're like, what gate is it? Well,
Yeah.
it's literally the opposite side.
I think we went from gate like 80 to gate 20 or something like
was
that.
yeah.
But it was still in C, so we don't have to take the tram again.
We did not, right? So
Wow.
So it was just, man, we had a rough night and a rough morning.
4 hours of sleep max. I don't think it was even that much. I think it was like 3, but yeah.
We were only there from Friday to Sunday, but I didn't shower while we were on the trip. So like
Ooh.
Sunday morning, especially running through that airport,
Yeah.
this dude was not looking or smelling good. It was not good. So I'm like, because I was just like, oh, we'll go home in the morning. I'll be home at 10 a.m. Good
Yeah.
to go. I'll start my day like I'll take a shower. Good to go. No. So we're in there. We ended up being there for about 7 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got on a plane at 1:30, but we ate breakfast, tried to hang out for a minute, try to get some sleep in the terminal, which is almost impossible. I'm telling you, somebody put some beds or a place that you can. I'd sit on the floor. I don't care. Give me a place to sit
Yeah.
or sleep. So we hung out there for a very long time, and this very, very, very nice, angelic lady that worked for the airport, she came through and confirmed us because we were on the wait list essentially.
Oh.
And it's like if if our spots don't, if people take the spots and then there's no spots left and the plane gets full, which ended up being a full plane, you just don't get on. You wait for the next one.
Yeah.
But luckily,
But she,
I whipped out some of my charm, and while Cole was taking his nap, I had conversations with her.
he did. He did.
I said, I have a wife.
I have a baby.
I have
on
a
the way.
baby. I just want to go home and see my family.
he
I
even
got it.
conjured up a tear.
I saw Denver.
My feet have been wet for the past 3 days.
My feet are still wet.
My feet. She's like, I don't believe you, and I just like squish, 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 squish. She's like, oh my gosh, I'll see what I can do. And then over the course of like our 4-hour wait, still, eventually her shift's ending, and she looks over at us and she's like, you guys are going to Indy, right? And I was like, yeah. And Cole didn't really, because he was getting some snooze on. He wasn't aware of all of the context of the conversation up to that point.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And she's just like, all right, you're confirmed.
Like, I'm like,
That was it. He's
I'm
like, what?
I'm like groggy, like barely see, and I'm just kind of like, my neck hurts. I just kind of look over, and she's like, oh, I got you confirmed, and here are your tickets. And I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, Tristan, what?
We had like maybe 10-ish people over the course of time, 10 to 15 people, some families, some single, coming up, and everybody responds differently whenever they find out they missed their flight. Some people rip them, just absolutely just mean. Not nice, really rude to the staff. And it's like, you missed your flight, that's on you. And it's like, my view was like, if you're speeding and you're speeding, don't be surprised if you get a ticket. We missed our flight. We booked really close. We didn't get a lot of sleep. It was really, we could have done an Uber. There was things we could have done. I accepted that, and I was nice to them. People would come up, and I'm like, yeah, man, do you guys get a lot of these people? And they're like, yeah, it's really, really rough. I was like, I can't believe that. And you just show a little empathy, just be a little nice to them, and
empathy.
And they're usually pretty cool. I mean, it's not like they're TSA employees or anything. They're They're working for the airline, so for the most part, they're pretty chill people.
She was super nice,
and she
confirmed our tickets.
She confirmed us, and
she was so nice.
We went home.
It felt so good at that moment.
About 2-3 hours later.
Yes. Yep. And I just can't. Like, it's so hard for me to sleep anywhere but my own bed. I struggled.
You're
I couldn't
a very
sleep.
Strange man.
I couldn't sleep on the plane. I could barely sleep in the terminal. I mean, I was exhausted.
You can't sleep without a TV on, which I think you really pushed your limits this weekend, because that weekend you did take some naps without a TV on.
You're that type of guy?
But I know it's really difficult for you. On? It's difficult. He can do it.
I usually fall asleep with it on. Yes.
What?
But he leaves it on. It's because he doesn't. It doesn't have like a timer. Maybe your one at home does, but the one at the hotels don't.
Well, mine at home doesn't have a timer. I think Audrey shuts it off. She can't. I fall asleep way faster than she does, so she normally waits and then shuts it off after I fall asleep.
Interesting.
If it has like a smart interface, you could probably like tell it to, hey app, turn off my TV in 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know.
So it actually, if you have a Google Chromecast, the one that we have, you can like eventually. So like, let's say like you're watching Netflix, and it comes up every once in a while, and it's like, are you still watching? If it gets to that and it's static, it will go ahead and like take it back to the home, and eventually it will auto shut your TV off.
Yeah. So he's a special boy. He's got special conditions for sleeping. I have to have it pitch black and quiet, so I'm prepared. I fly a decent amount, so I had my little night blinders on and my earplugs, and I slept pretty much the whole way there and the whole way back on all of our flights, and mostly in the car and at night. This man snores like a grizzly, so
I do.
I was very well prepared.
I can't sleep on flights. Actually, the only time I found out
I can't.
I now can sleep on flights is I use noise canceling headphones.
Yeah,
it gets rid of like all of the weird noises. It just makes it feel like you're in a different world.
I just can't sleep.
Nice.
Did you use music too?
Sometimes rain noises. Music? I like falling asleep whenever it's raining outside.
I got like St. John trap music and stuff on my bone phones. So the cool thing is with my headphones, I mean, it's not sound canceling's better obviously for this use case, but you can still wear earplugs, and because my headphones are bone conductive, you can wear earplugs like just what you would wear for construction or whatever, anything to go inside for sound canceling, and then you can still hear music through that way. So I'll also have the volume set to some low music, and I can usually fall asleep pretty easily because it just helps cancel out anything else that comes through the earplugs.
Dude, it was so funny. Because on the way there, I'm like sitting there, and Tristan's to my left, and this other dude's to my right. That won't open the dang window. And
Why do you want the window open?
I want to see.
He's got motion sickness.
Oh.
He can't sleep without a TV. He can't drive without a window. He's a special boy.
How
That's
does
true.
having the window open help?
So it's when you feel the motion and you can't see where you're going. That's when you get the motion sickness.
Yeah, it's
But like you're in a plane.
no,
Doesn't
like
matter.
it's a real problem. So in
It's legit, man.
our industry of like tech and types of things, there's a really big issue with consumers trying to out VR in AR systems. AR is better for people with motion sickness because they have like that relativity of if I take a step forward, my world moves. But you can probably go into more detail of this, but a lot of companies that produce video games or interfaces in VR are struggling with meeting a demographic because I think it's like 30 to 50% of people in the world just can't interface with it. So that means their demographics, whenever they go to sell like a Oculus or a Vive or whatever these companies are calling their tech now, is like you're alienating 30 to 50% of the market because of how you move in them. So whether you're on a plane, in a car, in VR, if you can't see how your body's moving in space, it freaks people out.
I was watching MKBHD test out some new VR tech. Like there's gloves that you can put on, so when you like pick up something in VR, it adds resistance to your fingers. So like you can't go all the way in because like you're only wearing a glove, so like you can obviously move your hand. But in the game, when you pick up a cup, it doesn't let your fingers go all the way, so it feels like you're holding.
Is it using strings and servos, or is it using?
It's servos, I think. But he mentioned that it feels weightless still. So like you pick up something in the game, but it feels like you're holding something, but like there's no weight.
Right.
And so what's the natural solution? You're basically going to have to wear like a bodysuit.
No,
because
I get
like
it.
you're going to have like a servo back here then pushing down on your arm, so you have to fight against it to feel like it has weight.
Yeah.
Which I'm less concerned about that. It's all like Tristan was saying. It's all movement.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Like there's certain things like I've been figuring out by playing some more complex games that have been coming out. There's certain things that it's very difficult to figure out where you are or what you're doing sometimes because again, the things you're seeing are not actually in physical space.
Yeah.
So I see that part of it, but my issue, like I just downloaded Bone Labs. I've been playing it. I was super pumped to play this game and didn't think anything about my horrible motion sickness problem. And I played it the first time and it made me super sick.
So what's your favorite game to play? Not just because it's fun, but what generally is your favorite game whenever you pop in VR?
Usually it's Beat Saber.
Oh yeah.
So the thing about Beat Saber, and they talk about this in some of the interviews I've seen, is video games that appeal to the run and gun, the movement type of stuff are usually the things that set you off or people that have motion sickness. So trying to design games in VR that are based on bringing objects to you, like Beat Saber, where you stand in place and things come to you, generally have less of like a negative response on people that have motion sickness.
Oh, I can play Beat Saber all day long.
Yeah.
So Beat Saber,
that's why it's so popular, because it's not just alienating 30 to 50% of people with motion sickness. It's like anybody could play this game, and there's a handful of VR games that do that well also.
Yeah. So
I know you're going to explain what Beat Saber is. Go ahead.
Beat Saber, it's kind of like Guitar Hero or Rock Band. It's a rhythm game, and instead of like playing a fake controller like a guitar or like even like the drums, you have two like lightsabers, and there's just blocks flying at you, and you have to cut them in a certain direction and with the beat, and so you're like going around and like you look like a complete idiot when you're doing it, but it's really fun in the game.
And you stand stationary and they come at you. So
for one of the modes.
Well, correct, and everything's relative, right? So and again, so I kind of figured out, because it made me really sad, because first of all, Bone Labs was $40, so I was like,
return it.
It made me so mad. So, but I wanted to play it.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is a totally different experience than I'm normally getting in VR, and it's a little bit more immersive. So I was like really pumped on it. So I figured out kind of how it's still there, but I figured out how to prolong a gaming session.
Oh.
Like I read some stuff online. And again, it's all about relative movement. So if I stand still and move the cameras and the person in the game with the joysticks, I will get sick so quick. Like I will start feeling really bad. And you're going to laugh at me, but the last time I played, I would run in place when I would walk. Like I would pretend like I was walking in place. And then instead of turning the camera to turn, I would just turn my body.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm trying to blend the physical world and the virtual world together movement wise.
Yeah.
And that helped me a ton.
Yeah.
But like as soon as I was playing a more fast paced, they actually have zombies on there.
Ooh.
It's like a survival zombie game. And like you go through as many rounds as you can make it. And the zombie, you have like a special map, but you have to pick up a gun and then you have to load it with your other hand, and then you have to cock it with your other hand every time you want to do anything. You have to unload it, load it, like it's all, you pull it out of your belt, and you can see all of this. And the problem is that sometimes it's faster to hit the trigger than to turn around or to move yourself. So it was doing like a hybrid thing, and that made me sick. But the slower pace stuff, I was able to kind of get through and play a little bit longer. Yeah. And like, I'm also not like a big heights guy, and you do a lot of jumping off of very high things and falling.
Oh yeah, that can freak people out.
Dude, you got to get it like on the tightrope ones. The tightrope ones, go get a 2x4 and put it in your living room and stand on that.
Oh,
and
I saw people do that.
People freak out. It's amazing. Like I would love to do stuff like that because I have a really bad fear of heights, but I'm totally open to overcoming it. Like I want to do things to push myself, and I've tried over the years, but I think that would be something that it'd be really fun to get on camera because you don't know how people will react.
It'd be fun because we can pull a feed from the camera or from the Oculus, and then we could film you, and that'd be kind of fun just to like be like, okay, Tristan's gonna get over his fear of heights with VR.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I have the cable for it and everything, so we can capture straight from it.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Oh, on the topic of motion sickness, like it doesn't even have to be VR for some people. Like if you've ever seen videos where somebody straps a GoPro to their head and you just watching it on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
that gets people's motion sickness going.
I think my mom and my dad have that same issue.
I don't have that issue.
I don't either.
VR, I can usually do whatever. Like you're talking about, like the moving left and right, like really crazy. I can do that with no problem.
I feel like maybe
makes me feel so bad.
Is it because you said you've been that way since you were really little, though, right?
I've never known a life that I didn't have.
Okay.
Motion sickness, like if I rode in the back or whatever, like especially when we moved to the lakes in Brown County, like I would go through the hills and I would get sick to the point of puking.
Wow.
I got sick multiple times a week up until I hit like 8 or 10 whenever my appendix was taken out, and then I never got sick again. Like once every 3 or 4 years maybe if I ate something that was like food poisoning. But
yeah.
I don't know. I've never really had the motion sickness thing. We've always enjoyed roller coasters, and you go to like Disney World. They had like one where you would design a roller coaster and then you'd sit in a little cockpit and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So stuff like that has just never really been an issue.
Yeah, there wasn't much that didn't make me sick growing up, whether it was motion sickness or food or whatever. I got food poisoning all the time. I'm not exactly sure what makes you prone to that, but
right. I don't know.
So is there any creative experiences that you want to do that you're reluctant to do because of fear of people having motion sickness when they consume? So like, is there any videos you want to make
from a creative
or is
point?
there like a VR experience that you want to make, or is there anything along those lines?
I mean, generally I make stuff that we like to make, and I guess I don't really think too much
nothing
about
bouncing around in there. When you saw VR, like, oh, it'd be cool if this.
Honestly, I've kind of leaned into VR as more of a consumer and less of something that we could lean into creatively right now.
Agreed.
But I see a lot of people doing really cool stuff. So, I mean, Corridor we reference all the time. So let's say Crispy Media is a company that I've liked and followed for about as long, and I think they're actually younger than us. I think they're like maybe 23, 24 right now. But it's two guys. They started off making chalk warfare and a lot of VFX videos, which is like modern warfare, shooting guns but using chalk and VFX. And I was like, well, that's cool. These guys are like juniors and seniors in high school making VFX shorts that are getting millions of views. And they did a lot of parts of that, and they did a lot of VFX, and now they're really leaning into AR and VR stuff. Awesome. examples you may have seen is Mr. Beast did these Squid Games, and there's a couple of VFX shots in there, and they have to do a lot of this live, and some of it was in post, but a lot of these it was done in post, but it was also done live in the sense that Mr. Beast, what's it, Jimmy, the guy that
Jimmy.
He runs a channel. He's got millions of dollars, millions of views, and he puts on these extravagant, amazing productions for a lot of just really cool ideas. And he's always about chasing the trend and making sure to like be popular and topical. He wanted the contestants. If you're familiar with Squid Games, it's a TV show or whatever on Netflix that was about people competing for money in exchange for their life.
Die.
Yeah, it's a game show. People die for money. Yeah. So he wants the contestants to feel like they're actually in that environment. So they actually have the fear of heights and the fear of falling and death. Mm-hmm. And even though it's all AR, they had to like augment the reality to use green screens and the wall displays and stuff like that. So that's like one aspect that they're doing that's like actually pretty relative. But they also do VR productions and stuff. And it's like all in the same vein of the sci-fi shooty action VFX stuff that we kind of enjoy, but they lean really heavy into the VFX side of things and making things like edited in real time. And I think I would love to start to learn or hire somebody that already knows that side of things, but I just don't think we're still shooting with cinema cameras. We're not in VR land yet.
People can dream, man.
I love dreaming.
You don't have to be always based in reality when it comes to what you want to do.
Yeah.
You think about, hey, it'd be cool to do this.
Yeah, I just don't think 360 video is there yet.
Even with the new Insta 360 cams?
There's not enough resolution.
Yeah.
And there's not enough bandwidth. You know what I mean? Like, I've played around with the YouTube app and the Oculus. There's not enough resolution.
I feel like they're trying to... They're making the cameras too small. feel like they bumped them up to be a bit bigger. They wouldn't be as portable, but like look a lot better. Bigger glass, bigger sensor.
They tell me they can't strap 4 Komodos together and, you know what I mean? Stitch it all together in post.
I mean, that's what they used to do before Instacam came out, was like they would just take a bunch of cameras, put them in a circle facing outward and stitch it in post.
But we think about how hard it is to stream 4K, right? Let alone...
I mean, Facebook won't even do it. They cap you at like 720.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like, even if you could make it, where are you going to put it?
Exactly. That's the thing. Is like, how do you consume that?
You would have to only use it on production side. You'd have to.
You want to get angry, David?
Huh?
You want to get angry?
He's already angry.
Did you hear YouTube's going to put some features behind paywalls?
Yeah, like 4K
like
resolution.
4K.
Yeah.
Like a
feature
standard resolution.
The biggest issue is that 1080p looks like garbage. Like it's not real 1080p. It's very optimized, trimmed down looking.
Oh yeah.
And you can easily tell when you're on a 1080p screen, you just put it to the 4K higher resolution stream and it looks better.
Yes.
It's just, why are you doing that?
But I already pay for YouTube, so.
Oh, on the VR thing, just one quick thing that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
I watched a video by the YouTuber Noodle. I don't know if you've seen any of his content. He's quite passionate about video games and also movies.
Okay.
And he brought up the fact that AR or VR, it might be the best way to experience movies, period.
I don't know about that.
Because, you know, obviously, like, if the resolution of the screens were better, ignoring the resolution part, you can watch movies in the aspect ratio they were designed for.
Right.
In any aspect ratio, because it's all virtual. So like IMAX screens, you can watch a true IMAX resolution in the perfect like 4:3, like Justice League, and it'll look proper. And then you can also watch something that's in like 21:9, and it would be artistically how the director made it, and it wouldn't be the cropped down version that you would have to put on a normal TV. Or it wouldn't be so small that you couldn't see it and has the black bars. It solves the aspect ratio problem.
That's true.
Because when you can just hop in, the way they do it is just, it looks like a giant movie theater, and it's your own personal movie theater. And really the only issue right now is the resolution, because the lenses and everything, has to fit on your face. And so the screens have to be small enough to where they can be there. But
that's my biggest gripe with the VR goggles is every time I've tried a new pair is like I can see pixelation in the goggles. Like the resolution for them just isn't high enough, and it feels very disorienting, and my face gets like really hot wearing the mask. I think if they could make a higher resolution that's lighter.
We're still in the early days.
Your headset is really comfortable though. Out of all the ones I've ever tried, the little attachment you bought was really nice. But the resolution just it doesn't make me nauseous. It's just very unpleasant to look at. It's like looking. Oh yeah. It's like going to your grandma's house and looking at an old like a CRT TV and like 720p or 480p and sitting like 4 feet from it is how I feel. And I'm like, this looks really weird but it doesn't look bad, but it's like uncanny valley of quality. It's just weird.
Well, we've all, I mean, between our phones and our computers and our TVs, I mean, everything is crystal clear.
Yeah. And then you go put on a VR headset and you're like, oh, there's like looking through like a mesh screen, like on a screen door. They call it the screen door effect.
I said Retina.
Yeah.
Apple makes some. I think they're going all out AR.
They have to make it so you can't see the pixels.
Well, I don't think they'll do VR. Is my point. It's like
not off the bat, no.
But if they made Retina display somewhat comfortable goggles, I would give my money to Apple for that.
Well, do yourselves a favor if you're listening, and also Tristan and David here. Meta let a couple journalists come in recently into their Oculus portion of the company, and they showed different prototypes and different technologies they're working on. It's a fantastic interview. I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was The Verge that went in, but I think most of the major tech publications went in and did this, and I want to say one of the guys what's the guy's name from Tested with Adam Savage, his buddy?
Oh, actually,
Grant?
I usually only watch the Adam videos.
Oh, he passed away. Grant?
Grant Imahara?
Yeah.
No, not him.
Oh.
Yeah, there's somebody else now, but I think he went through and did it. Maybe that was who I was thinking of. Anyways, check it out. I think it would be on Tested's YouTube channel, so check that out.
Nothing against that guy, but I usually only watch the Adam videos.
Oh, no, I think he knows his stuff too. I dig him. So
yeah, I watch for Adam's personality and what he has to say.
I understand.
So
okay,
1080p TVs have been commercially available for a very long time.
I'm gonna need to cut you off soon.
But the early 2000s. Now that doesn't sound that long ago, but you have to realize that's over 15, almost 20 years, depending on whenever they started coming out. 4K has been around since the early 2010s. Doesn't sound that long ago, but it's about 9 to 10 years.
And technically film is even better resolution.
Right.
We've actually gone downhill in resolution since the digital age.
So my point is YouTube it's like, it's a free service, but it's not free. They're getting paid by ad dollars. They're making a lot of money.
Have they even been breaking even yet? Haven't they been running at a loss for like a long time?
I'm pretty sure since they implemented subscription and upped their prices for advertising, they've been profitable for like 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's still pretty recent for YouTube, because YouTube's been around since like 2000.
They've been around for as long as 4K has been available in TVs.
Okay, I got to wrap you guys up. We're going to go too long. So
what do we got?
Okay, first off, we never really finalized our conversation about Colorado. We need to do that really fast because I really want to get to the segment. But yeah, so we ended up missing our flight, but everything else, and the wet shoes and the car. But we had a great trip. Everything was awesome. We're very excited to throw a little supercut together when that wedding video is done, so that you guys can see what we got while we were there.
Yeah.
So definitely have to check that out. We're gonna do one more sponsor segment real fast, you guys, and then we're gonna do a new segment, newish. We're gonna adapt it much better than we did the first time.
Remastered.
Yes. So
all right, what do we got?
Okay, we're gonna talk about the Passion for Acting Theater Company next, guys.
Whoa, we love them.
We do. Like I said, we still need to have our onboard liaison come on and talk more about them. I recently acquired some more information, and it's a very cool company, and the stuff that they're doing with theater is really awesome. I'm learning a lot about this sort of stuff. I have not been well versed in this area, so there's a lot of politics and interesting things to learn about this industry.
Yeah, so plays and acting. Yeah, it's very different ball game.
Yes. So very cool. Okay, we're gonna get into this ad, guys. Passion for Acting Theater Company has a passion for bringing excellent and entertaining live theater to audiences in Bartholomew County. Passion for Acting Theater Company was created in 2018, and they perform dinner theater productions at the terrific and eclectic Willow Leaves of Hope on the Square in Hope, Indiana. Their first production, The Miracle Worker, was a huge success and received great reviews from audience members. Since then, Passion for Acting Theater Company has performed 10 shows, ranging from comedies like The Kitchen Witches and The Odd Couple, to drama and suspense like their original murder mystery, Angel Street, to classic children's literature like The Secret Garden and Anne of Green Gables. Their next show will be Kalamazoo, a comedy about what happens when older folks try to get into the online dating scene. Kalamazoo will be performed at Willow Leaves of Hope in February, just in time for the Valentine's Day or to laugh the winter blues away. Enjoy a delicious dinner and a great night of entertainment at Willow Leaves of Hope. The phone number there is 812-341-7251. You can call that number now to make reservations for this laugh out loud comedy. Woohoo!
All right.
And that is February of 23. I recently got some more information about that show, and it sounds awesome. Mm-hmm. So I think, again, we're trying to get the crew together and maybe go and check this out.
Yeah.
I also had a discussion with them about maybe making some video projects for them as well to help advertise. Sure. So we might get to have some fun with that. So watch out for that.
Whoa.
Okay. We are going to reinstitute the Random Bleeps segment.
Oh my gosh.
So we have refined this and thought about this and have tried to make this better for your enjoyment. So we have decided that we're going to take small sections of movies and read part of the script with the characters.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna, I don't know, we'll see. We'll get fun maybe with the voices or something along those lines. We'll see. We're gonna let this evolve on its own. But the catch is, we're not going to tell you what movie it's from or what portion of the movie that it's from. We want you guys to try and see if you can figure out what it is and then leave it in the comments. And you can leave it on Instagram or you can leave it on YouTube, for Facebook, completely up to you.
Yep.
But we'll be watching, or you can send us an email to podcast@triflix.com.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. And I'm going to read the first one here with David. David is going to be opposite me in this scene. Nice.
Here we go.
For those of you listening, we have a wig here on set. You're definitely going to want to go to YouTube. It looks like it blends in with your current hair, but it's just, I like how crazy it is. Hey, sir, there's headphones in your hair.
Oh, no, that's
looking good.
That's a new trend.
I love it.
Kind of like a Cable Walton of hair.
So the fun part about this is we're going to read these and then we're going to bleep them later. So it's going to sound silly to us at first, but it's going to be even better for you guys listening on the other side.
Yes, that movie.
So do we do a silly voice or we just do normal?
I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do,
Lean
buddy.
into it, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
You're a method actor. You're
All
wearing
right.
a wig.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to get into it.
You have the first line here, so.
You know that I would you with anything, but I cannot you if you're going to start again.
There is except this. There's no nothing to sign. There's the next and nothing else.
Is that so? Then I quit.
You side all these years while I of destruction. Now that I'm trying to people I've put in, you're going to walk out on me?
You're going to self. I'm not going to be part of it.
I shouldn't be unless it's for. I'm not crazy. I just finally know that I have to, and I know my heart that it's right. End scene.
Wow.
Riveting.
Bravo.
Riveting.
Bravo.
Okay. The next section here.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
No.
Dog Bounty Hunter, the movie.
That's a great film. The next section here, Tristan picked out, so we're going to let him, you're going to read the lead, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Who would you like to read opposite?
Of course, David.
Okay, awesome. So, okay, and you got everything?
Give me one moment. Let me,
no worries, guys.
make my thing happen.
It's a
here.
cold, dark morning, and
Ooh, set the
two people
mood.
get together to
Allow me.
read.
I can't even do the voice here today.
That's okay. That's
Don't do
okay.
it yet. Don't get
Hold on, he's got to know. He's got to know.
technical difficulties.
Not during the segment.
holiday.
Should have bought her better computer. Kidding.
All right.
So, okay. So that was the end of the first one. We're going into the second section here. So these are both two separate movies and two different sections from those movies. So there are two different parts that you can guess from. So
Yep.
David, you doing okay? You got it pulled up?
I am ready.
Okay.
Oh, Tristan.
Okay,
you can
Tristan.
go.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
Allow me to introduce myself. I kind of like the leader in here. I made a box, as you can see, but don't let that date you. You don't need to be afraid unless you're just a little joke for you.
How did you hear?
Well, I tried to start a but didn't print enough pamphlets, so hardly anyone turned up, except for who I hate. As punishment, I was forced to become a gladiator. Bit of a promotional disaster, that one. But I'm actually organizing another. If you don't know, I don't know if you'd be interested in something like that. Do you reckon you'd be interested?
Has everyone thought Grandmaster's?
Yes, Doug has. Hey, Doug, could you come over here? Oh, yeah. Anyone who Grandmaster Champion perished. You're not actually thinking of him, are you?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna get the hell off this planet.
That's exciting. What Doug used to say. You see you later, new Doug. Woo, bravo, scene.
And scene.
Wow. They let the illiterate read.
And we all learned Tristan can't read on this
Can't
day.
read.
No.
Mark it on.
It's all right.
I've been telling you this for years. You guys ask me why I go to the store and I can't find anything. It's because
You can't read.
I can't read.
Yeah, we should have just showed you pictures of the scenes and you would just known.
That's
maybe
true. That's
maybe
true.
we could just do Step Brothers next time and do it without the script.
Are we best friends?
I think we'll have to pick before. Maybe you could practice reading.
But ball me, Blazer.
Yeah.
Okay, that was Random Bleeps. Thank you for checking out that. That's super fun.
Yeah, comment your guesses, and if you get it right, we'll shout you out on the next
Fly
episode.
you out for the next
Yeah.
episode. You can
There
be
you
Fly
go.
out. Yeah, you'll win
On
a
a
free
Cessna.
podcast interview.
You'll fly out, but you'll miss the flight
Single
and you'll be
wing.
stuck at the airport.
Yeah. We'll fly you out, but you got to pay for it.
Okay, we've got one more thing we need to talk about, guys.
What is it?
The weekly tip.
What is our tip?
So this week we talked about, or Kat talked about on the segment. She talked about how to position your how to position your subject in a very sunny environment, specifically to make sure that you're shooting them in the correct fashion. David here was our model.
Yeah.
He was cleaning up them streets.
Yep. That's what I do every day.
If you haven't seen the video, go to our Instagram
Just
and
like
check it
your
out.
brother.
It's in the family.
It's in the family. But essentially, the tip is that, you know, when you're, especially this time of year, the sun is always kind of pointing from the southern direction. And of
Wow,
course,
how astute of you.
I know, right? I have to pay attention to these
It's
things.
always pointing.
Never know when you're going to go to Colorado.
But the problem is it's a little bit lower at this time of year, so you deal with a little bit more shadow issues, especially middle of the day. So what Kat was demonstrating is that when you go to do things like this, you want to make sure essentially there were trees around and there's light coming through the leaves and the parts of the trees that aren't covered up.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is you get these light spots on somebody's face. So everything's kind of shadowed, but then you get these certain spots of light on the face, and even on the body. And it just makes for a very non-pleasing picture. So she was showing that sometimes if you would politely move your subject to a spot that is a little more shaded, you will get even lighting. And she even demonstrates the fact that if you were to put them in direct sunlight, they get blinded. You're going to blow out the skin with highlights. So you're looking for a way to light them in a better way. And she demonstrates that on the tip.
It's not something everybody thinks about, especially when you're just trying to get a quick shot or something. If you want to just improve it a little bit better, when you're doing something like a photo or a video, it's all these little tiny tips that we're doing. They can add. They can make it better.
That's the name of the segment, though. Just the tips, right?
Just
Tuesday tips.
Tuesday tips, yeah.
No, sorry. TRIFLIX tips.
TRIFLIX tips.
I'll get it
on
out.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Just the tips.
Coincidentally. So the part of this that's really cool is she shot all these example pictures on her phone, correct?
Yes.
Really?
So-
I wouldn't have believed that. They look really good.
I mean, lighting is everything. And I think we know this. When we upgraded our lights and we have the ability to move and do things differently. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's other factors, but I think especially with something like I hate shooting on a phone, but there's a picture I took when we were at Nick's gallery and the sun and everything was just shooting. I mean, it was just coming in the window and hitting this painting just perfectly. And between the shadow and the light and the way that everything was lit, the picture looked really good. And I took it on my cell phone. I hate cell phone pictures. So I was very impressed. And there's a picture of David standing up, I think on a concrete column, and he's got the vacuum in his hand.
Yep.
It looks fantastic.
Why?
And it's all in the lighting.
Why were you holding a vacuum?
Well, that's a normal thing for people to do.
Yeah, you go out, vacuum the street. Just trying to keep Columbus clean.
I gotta be weird about that.
No, this is on me. I really should probably start doing that.
I mean, like you didn't wear a jacket in Colorado.
Start with the house or the office first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just want to go outside with a vacuum.
Yeah.
I want to be like David.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're building a cart out of trash.
Yeah.
A spaceship cart.
That's probably possible.
Next thing you know.
Yeah. No, that could. I'll have to get a vacuum with like the automatic wheels so it'll pull the cart forward.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or like you get a vacuum strong enough that when you turn it on, it sucks you and propels you in the direction.
No, I'm just.
It can work that way.
I'm just gonna take off the bag so it's a blower, and I'll use that to propel forward. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, that was the tip this week. Lighting matters. If you guys have any questions, or if you're trying to do your own photography, and even if you are just trying to use your phone, there are ways to make them look more professional, and a lot of that starts with lighting. So check out that tip if you haven't seen it yet. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out over the comments on that video, or use the email at the end, or whatever. Either way, drop us a line, and we'll try to help out. So
drop us a line.
That's the whole point of the TRIFLIX tips. We just want to be able to help you guys do some things that you can't do on your own, so that you can learn these tips and tricks and use them with your camera, your video camera, so that you can improve your imagery just as we have learned over time to improve ours.
So some things that we've learned over time may seem completely obvious to us, or to just doing photos in general, and it's great to share things that you just feel like you don't even think need to be told to others. So
and honestly, I hadn't thought about this until now, but if you guys have any tips or tricks that you'd like to see featured on our TRIFLIX tips on Tuesdays, feel free to send us a message or a comment, and we'd be happy to potentially answer that question.
Tell us what doesn't work and you're confused why people say to do it.
Right.
How often do you shampoo and conditioner? These are the things that we could probably start addressing.
Every day.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't know. I just got a lot of hair. I just want to take care of it.
I do know something that you should do. We should wrap this thing up.
All right.
Thank you for listening and checking us out. There's a new episode every week, drops Friday mornings. Listen to it on the way to work, listen to it on the way home, listen to it while you're bathing the kids. I don't care. This is a great way to learn something about photography, videography.
Let us know where you listen.
Yeah, and maybe find out something weird about the three dudes that put this thing on. So we've got guests incoming, so get ready for guest episodes. We're going to continue to workshop new segment ideas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the ones that we did today. Hopefully you learned something, and we appreciate everyone. Next week, I don't even know. You're just going to have to come back next week.
Yeah,
just
keep
go
it a
out,
surprise.
be one with nature, get a little squish and come on back.
Get your shoes wet.
Get your shoes wet.
Yeah.